Good morning, Rabbi Sai. We have a tremendous oilum here. First, we have Ilan Davidovici, also known as Davidovich, all the way from America. You came with your wife?
Yeah.
Only your wife. Thank you so much for coming all the way from America. And remind me your name. From Lakewood, Shirley Weinberger, with his ganze Mishpucha. 5 people came. They usually go to Davos or whatever, another place. They came here for the shir. Your son listens to shir here and there, and you are straight from a year ago, you said. Beautiful. Shkoyach for coming. Unbelievable. Listen, if it was like last Shabbos, it's going to be Givaldic. All we have to do is a shtickle repeat, or maybe a little better. And hopefully the weather breaks. What is this supposed to be rain tomorrow? Today was a shtickle rainy. Yeah. First Stumenfall. Chaperein Stumenfall. Then we'll talk about it the rest later. All about the Yomi. Reb Chaim Moshe Margolis of London gives Daf Yomi shir after the chuppah of his child. I think it's Givaldic. It's unbelievable.
We're not going like we're not going like so that's maybe a nice shot. I haven't had time today to look any further, but that's a nice shot. I'll go to them. Let's go in.
Tamer of Eli Brazil in Camp Kylie, learning with MDY every night. Kol Kavod. Look at these guys. Oh, the pink curtain from Austria. So we're here live, our boys say live in the Alps of Austria. Beautiful stuff. Right across the street, you'll see, if you came now, you'll see right across the street, there's a river, and then there's a waterfall. You go there on Shabbos. Just walk, you just don't carry anything over there. Hearing the daf, they came over to say they're negea b'davar. Oh, they heard all the tumult about parrots holding the food in their hand, the doiris. Today is going to be a daf, Bezer Hashem, full of birds. These are one of the dapim that I remember most in all of Shas, because when we were learning Chullin last time, there's a lot of pictures, and some of the pictures I found today when I was searching, same exact pictures as last time. So I guess I chose good pictures then, and I'm very excited. It said, the official edition of the way Shas, Mesechta by Zevin Yal Sholof, Perek, Ilan and Mary Davidovici. Oh, first time in the live, in the flesh, I can look at you and say the name. That's how you pronounce the name, Mary?
Yeah.
Good. The Yunishmas is Shayi ben Aaron and Yochevet Chava Itel Bas Avram. Who are these people?
My father's parents.
Grandparents. Daf, survivors. Oh, the Neshama should have an aliyah. Daf Samach Gimel, dedicated by the Simon family. Leonard Lilu Nishmas, Yitzchak Leben Moshe, Leonard Katzen. Shavasa B'Tammuz. So that's it. It's Shavasa B'Tammuz now. Hope there's no music in some of our videos. The haircuts, the music, Shavasa B'Tammuz. The good news is that we are in the Alps of Austria. That means the fast ends at 10:30 at night. And they asked me to give a shir here at 9:15ish for the Hebrew, in the middle of the fast. So the guys have what to do. They figure those Bagit shir, it doesn't matter. And somebody said, I remember your shir from last year, from this Saint Anton, and you're like out of it. That's what he said. He remembers. So I hope it'll be better performance this time. The Masechta, sponsored by David Salomon, dedicated memory of Avi Mori, Reb Shmuel Baruch ben Reb Chaim Tzvi Dov Zichron Levracha. We went today. It was raining the whole day. So I said there was a place I really wanted to go, the 2 lakes. And it's like you go in, and you pay to drive in this road, and it takes about 30 minutes just from the beginning of the road, but it looks like a fairy tale. Like you go, you drive, and so I really wanted to see this place. I said, you know what? We're going to go, and you can only start at 4:30 at night. From 4:30 to 8 o'clock in the morning, if you go with your car. So the whole time, like my family, this, that, okay, let's go today. It's raining, we didn't do anything. Let's just go at 4:30. And I have to run back to give the shir here. So we're on. I tell Benny, hey, I'm going there, but whatever. So he fouls me. We get there. He says, yeah, but not on Wednesdays. Can't come in on Wednesdays. Reminds me of Eretz Yisrael. You go to the post office. Not on Tuesdays. When? Yeah. Every other day. So you come on not on Thursdays. Come back next week. You come back on Sunday. Yeah, Sunday, but only between 2 and 6. You came at 1. Go back home. Kitzer. Okay, we're going to try again tomorrow. I was told, don't go when it's raining. Like the beauty is to see the lakes and to see the reflection of the mountains in the lake. I said, okay, but I'll tell you, standing outside of the gate, my family really enjoyed it, and they were taking there's cows everywhere and bells, and it's a beautiful matzav. And there's a golf course there, probably one of the nicest golf courses in the world. It's right there in the mountains, and it's crazy. So Be'ez Hashem, we'll go back. We'll try it again tomorrow on the fast. Like it's one of these things. You just drive. You don't really have to walk a lot. I'll let you know how it is. You go to Stumfal on the fast, 700 steps. Just don't do it back and forth because that's 1,400. Apologetic Family Foundation in honor of MDY Latin America and their warm hospitality. Anonymous, and thank you to Chief Benny, Shmuel Nova Schuster for continuing Hatzlach and Anachas from our children. Amen. Anonymous for complete refuah name and Harikas Yom Talei Bas Esther. Yom and Daniel Rosenfeld Bris for Simcha. Anonymous Linishmas Yonatan Eitan Ben Mordechai Zev HaKoyin Zichron Levrocha. Vetzviz Linishmas Yonatan Eitan Ben Mordechai Zev HaKoyin Zichron Levrocha. Aryeh Simon the refuah name Avi Mari Baruch Miriam. Weekly sponsor, Spanish year sponsor, big refuah name to a close friend Naftali Harris Ben Chaya Pesia. What's going on with the Spanish year? Is it moving or it's we don't know. Anonymous, Hashem should give Yafa Gamalo Bat Adel a complete refuah name. Amen. Michael Wimpheimer, something like that. Mazel Tov to Zev and Yal Sholof on the marriage of Tamima to Ezra Braun. It's a big. This is the Zev. I didn't know this. Thank you, Michael Yishkoich. Because now we know to give a Mazel Tov to Zev and Yal Sholof on the marriage of Tamima to Ezra Braun. These are the sponsors of the Masechta. Who else is getting married or got married? I know. Oh, Menachem Ateh had a grandson who's also Josh Duker is the other grandfather. He's one of our translators for our new Gemara. Nitzan Hetzrani for Hatzlacha in my business. Amen. And the Ayart month. L'fur Shnei Mordechai ben Esther. L'fur Sayela Daniel Zev ben Ayelet Esther. Rabbi Sai, here we go. 12 lines from the bottom of Samach Beis, Omid Beis. Once again, a very, very easy Gemara. I hope that these new people, like our good friend Chaim from Muncie, he doesn't think all of Shas is like this, animals and birds. We get some sugyas, that are a little heavier than this, but this is mamish, it's reading names today. We're just going to go through the list of birds, all the different birds, and some of them have pictures, some of them not. We have some videos, some super interesting videos of birds. Geshmaka stuff. Omer Papa, we're just going to go through this. Even if we learned it yesterday, we're just going to do a few lines here that we did, just a chazara. Just to remind Olam, there are 2 types of birds. They're very, very different families. Tarnagoyla da Agma, Asira. Tarnagolta da Agma, Sharia. They have a very similar name. One is in the male version, Tarnagoyla, and one is female, Tarnagolta da Agma, of the swamp. The swamp chicken. Okay, one is female, one is male, but they're different birds. So our boy said, let's pay attention here for a second. How many birds are there that we know of today? 11,000 species of birds. Of the 11,000 species of birds that are known today, there are only 24 birds that you're not allowed to eat. That's a crazy number. 24 out of 11,000. And these are species. So when you talk about species, some species have 100 birds. 1,000 birds to the species. You have the Gemara's are going to talk about a raven. There's many types of ravens. That's all within the species. There's the white, the black, things that we're not. The sterling, we saw yesterday. The sterling, we saw the blue, the black, the white stomach, the black. There's so many different ones. You look at them, you don't even know it's the sterlings. It's a blue bird. It's a beautiful bird. No, it's a sterling. So, if you had a guess, if there's 11,000 birds, how many mammals are there? Guess. More or less? Less. Okay, that's a good guess. Yes. 6,800. How many species of fish? More or less? More than 11,000?
I think so.
Was it Steph in Lakewood? I only know gefilte fish and tuna fish and salmon and herring. There's 37,000 species of fish. A lot of fish out there. Okay. How many grasshoppers are there? Types of species of grasshoppers. So the Gemara is going to tell us there's 800. I looked it up. They say there's 10,000 or whatever. I don't know what that means exactly. But the Gemara also says a crazy number. You say, oh, it's a guzman. No, it's not even a guzman. It's nothing. Says the Gemara. So the Tarnagoyla, the male one, is Asr. Tarnagolta, the Sharia, is Mutter. V'simanach, and how do you remember this? Amoyni v'loy amoynis. The male is also, you're not allowed to marry a male amoyni because he didn't come out with his bread and water, he didn't treat you with achnas zarchim. But the female amoynis, it's not her job to come out and treat you well. So therefore she wasn't punished. So you're allowed to marry giyaris amoynis. So too, the tarnagol ta the agma, the female you're allowed to eat, the male you're not allowed to. Darish mirem tarnagol ta the agma asira. This is fascinating right here. Why is it also to eat the tarnagol ta the agma? We paid attention and we noticed after all these years that we were eating the Tarnagolta da'agma, we suddenly realized, wait a minute, this bird eats its food with its hands, or it stays on its food. And that's why people tie in it today that the chickens of our generation, they also do some sort of drisa, which is problematic. So for this, we have to see Rashi. Rashi says a very big yesod here. When we were learning the sugya of animals, we said, hey, if you are in a safari, you were in the safari with us, no? Ilan, of course you were. So the three of us were in the safari. On a table of 5 people, 3 were in the safari. Unbelievable. A bunch of people, they took a bus last night at 4:30 in the morning, like the whole hotel just emptied out and they went back home. There's a lot of people, not a lot, there's a lot more. Now it's kind of empty, they're filling up slowly. They're coming in for Shabbos, what are they doing? Okay, if not, we'll just bring the 5 of us. Hey, you're not complaining. They're coming tomorrow. Okay, but to travel on Shabbos with Thomas and when the fast is over, on 10 o'clock, fine. So says the Gemara. So I want to tell you this side. When we're learning this sugya of animals, we said if you look in its mouth and you see it doesn't have upper teeth, so you know it's kosher. If it's malagir, you know it's kosher. So what about a wildebeest? Yeah, halachically. Back then, you could just go and open up its mouth and eat it. See, it's malagera. But the Shach came along and said that's the first time that I found, but other people could tell me if I'm wrong, there's a concept of Messiah, but this concept we see more in the Gemara when it comes to a bird. So it says Rashi, since we're not very familiar with it, nearly the oif habalafonenu, so that's why you have to have a Messiah in all birds. You can't just grab a bird, a flamingo, and say, I think a flamingo is kosher because it has, let's say, a zepek and a this. It has 1 siman, you're allowed to eat it. Because Shema Yidrois, because one day you'll find out, like we found out with this Tarnagolta. The Hach Tarnagolta, the Agma, because says Rashi, for generations we used to eat it. And this goes back to the same thing. I don't want to beat the same drum, but just because we did something wrong for generations, you could do something, Klal Yisrael could do something wrong for generations. It's possible. It doesn't make it mutter. And for generations, we're eating this bird. What? So my grandfather ate treif? Never, yeah, I'm sorry. He ate treif. That's what he says. And after a while, and then they realize, wait a minute, we got a problem. It does drisa. So a bird you could only eat when you have a Messiris. That's why my nephew is a Kamenetsky. He doesn't eat turkey. The Reb Yankiv Kamenetsky's family doesn't eat turkey. Why? Because they don't have a Messiris. They say there's a lot of people don't eat turkey. You have to have a Messiris. I don't have the Messiris. The Stefanskys eat it. Too bad. We don't have the Messiris, he says. Fine. Shoiftar, he repeats, Shoiftar, Nechal b'Messiris. And a lot of the controversies you have on different birds, different chickens, is because of this idea of Messiris. Do we have a Messiah to our chicken that we eat today? It has all sorts of different birds were inserted to make it stronger and larger. That's the controversy that they had over the years. Okay, so don't eat bird, don't eat, then you can't eat kids. At the end of the day, you're just going to turn a vegetarian. So little that we have birds, we have chicken, and we have meat, and they're both of them. You can make a controversy if you want. Says the Gemara. Oh, Omar Rav, Shavur and Arpato Shari. So I don't have pictures for some of these birds like these. There is a bird called Shavur. You're allowed to eat it. Piruz in the parta, but the same on the parta. One is called Shavur, one is called Piruz. Aser. We want to remember Piruz Rashid. There's a guy called Piruz. He's a Rasha. Bunya Shari. This bird called a Bunya Mutter. Parva Aser. How do you remember this? Parva Mgusha. The famous sorcerer called Parva. He's a bad guy. So Parva is Aser. Amrav Papa. Mardu, the bird called Mardu, Zogid V'achil Shari. If he stands and he eats, then it's what to eat. Zogid V'achil, if he bows and he eats, then it's Aser. You're not allowed to bow to another god. So Mela, the ones who bow and eat, they're Aser. There's a bird called the wine drinker. You're not allowed to eat him. Easy to remember. Those who drink wine as a kohen, you cannot perform the avodah that day. The bird that's called the wine pourer. How do you say pourer? Server, something like that. Special word.
Waiter?
How do you say it in English?
Sommelier.
Sommelier.
French.
Sommelier. So the sommelier bird is Asira. Bas Mazga, there's a bird called the daughter of the sommelier, Chamra Sharia. It's Mutter. If you want to remember, like we had the other day, the son sometimes is stronger than the father. You remember the story I said then when we learned it? That at every Levai they used to say something good about the person. They couldn't figure out something good, so they said that the father is better than the son. So they said, okay, you don't remember the Maisa?
They're the son on the school.
So and then when the son died, they couldn't find anything. Yeah, Mom said they couldn't find anything, and they said, but Lamaisa they buried the father because of the son. Fine, they buried. That's the same idea. Rav Yehuda. Shakidna Arichi Shaki has very long legs. Listen to this. What if you had to guess what this bird is? Yeah, it has very long legs, Vesumke, and it's red. What is that?
It's a pelican?
No.
Flamingo. Or flamingo.
That's what you meant. Here, flamingo. Mutter, you're allowed to eat it. V'simanech murzma. Here, I gotta tell you, I did not speak into the. It's not me. This is 100% AI.
ככל הנראה, העוף הזה זה שקטינה, והוא מותר באכילה.
וסימניך?
If it talks, it's for sure also to eat. Gutze vesumke asiri. This I just made up because I searched for another bird that's red, pink red, but has short legs. This is what I found. Maybe it is in the article. I don't know. It's a beautiful bird also. Really is pink, like a flamingo. You know that it gets its color from all the shrimp it eats, or that whatever. It eats a certain fish, the flamingo. It's really not a pink bird because it eats that little, if it doesn't eat that in its diet, it's not pink. I think it's shrimp. What is it? Look it up. We need a guy full-time on doing the shit. Yeah. So, but the shorter legs is Azudi. V'simanach nanos puzzle. A dwarf, a vertically challenged person is puzzle for kuhuna. Ariki shaki. If it has long legs, v'yeruke, and it's green. So green usually means yellow in the Gemara. And look at this beauty I found. Mamish, gorgeous bird. What is that? A yellow flamingo. I guess it eats a different diet. It turns into yellow. It does eat shrimp.
More white and gray?
It's born, when you hear that, it's born white and gray, and because it eats a lot of brine shrimp, it turns pink. Gewaldig. Okay, so maybe ask it, just out of curiosity, how does it turn yellow then? You see that it could change colors based on its diet. Or maybe the yellow is just a joke. Maybe this is fake.
Maybe it's from a different area.
Because sometimes there's algae that it also eats that turns it yellow with the brine shrimp.
Really? So this is a real picture.
Wow.
It's a gorgeous, look at this. And it even has the mirror image in the, what is it called? The reflection. It's great.
That's the people who eat.
I'm just living this up. This is my daf. Hello, we were going to safari, and Mendy, I said, Mendy, look, there's a crazy eagle over there. I just want to see leopards and lions. Leave me alone from your birds. But some people they'll camp out for 4 days to see one bird. Some people are bird. I'm not a crazy bird person, but I really appreciate birds and the beauty of them, the colors. Anyway, so says the Gemara. Also, they fly. It's crazy. They could jump off a porch and just fly. Shugan Zach. Says the Gemara. The yellow one. That's funny because no. So this is different. It's a different breed because it's the same breed. It just ate shrimp with algae. It wouldn't be usser. The pink one is mutter. The yellow one is usser. Okay, so it's not this. This is just to make it more interesting. The sugya. It's not. But again, don't go home and bring a pelican, a flamingo home and check it and eat it because you heard in shir that it's mutter. We're not. This is just for fun. Omer Rav Yehuda Shalach Zeh Hashoyle Dogim Min Hayam. So for this we have some crazy pictures. First of all, this is a shalach, cormorant, something like that. It's a fisher. But check this out. This guy did a mean thing. He's in China. This is what they do. They're not so friendly to animals. But this really fits right into the Gemara later on. That in a minute, Rabbi Yochanan says that Hashem treats the shalach with midas hamishpat. He's not so kind with him. So check this out. How does he fish? He has 2 pet shalachs, and he ties them, and he makes them fish for him. Nuts. That's a beautiful picture, actually. Finish all like that. That's a great picture, no? Wow. Exactly. Maybe we should go there on our next appreciation trip. By the way, I never said thank you to you. Sponsor the Sefer Torah. Wow. The Davidovich Sefer Torah. Unbelievable. Shkoyach. Thank you. In person. Tiskil mitzvahs. I guess they weren't, I don't know if they were planning this, but maybe they were. Back in their minds, they said, hey, if they make a little money off the Sefer Torah, they didn't realize it's going to be a real fundraiser. It's beautiful. Okay, Zok Deila Gemara. Oh, and now listen to this. Duchifat. Shahidu Kafos. Till this very day, there's a bird called Duchifat, and the ArtScroll agrees that that's what it is. And it's one of my favorite birds. It's just a beautiful, beautiful bird, and they have this in Eretz Yisrael. And what's cool about this bird is that it has a crown. And the ArtScroll has the picture of its crown open and closed. And I'd like to show you some of the, here's the crown open. This is all real footage. Okay.
The national bird of Israel.
It
And
is?
it's called the hopo outside of Israel.
It is called the hopo. Of course it's called the hopo.
Yeah, Duchifat.
Hoopoe. Hopo. It's the national bird of Israel, and the Israelis don't even know that it exists. I told Benny never saw one. I remember as a kid, I didn't see it in a long time, but in Bnei Brak they had them. Now, what's amazing about this bird is that this is the bird. Vizehu. So first, let's read the words. Shahoidai kafos. The crown is bent downwards. It's bent like this. A guy came over to me and he says, you're not allowed to wear tefillin. You have long hair. He shows me this halacha. Like yesterday, he was like, so this would be also, if you have like a double hair and it's going down, it might be a problem. If you have hair like the duchifas. Akopanim, tainameachi, duchifas, shoy the kafos. His crown is bent backwards. V'zeu shehevi shomer lebeis hamikdash. What is going on here? What does it mean? The shomer is a special worm that could cut through stone. And in the Beis Hamikdash, you're not allowed to use metal. You're not allowed to use metal tools to build a Beis Hamikdash. So how do they cut the stone? They use the shomer. But how do you get the shomer? So the shomer is held by the sar of the water, the malach of the water. And the duchifas gets access to it. He could get it. So they did a trick. Shlomo HaMelech needed it badly. So he fooled the duchifat. He put a piece of glass over this hopo's babies, and he couldn't reach them. Okay, couldn't reach. So he went to get the shomer to cut the glass. He had to make a hole in the glass to get to his babies, to his chicks, whatever they're called. And when he came back with the shomer, he scared him. So he ran away and he dropped the shomer, and that's how they got it. And here's the video. We have video evidence of this. And then what happened? He hung himself. As the Gemara says. He killed himself. He was so embarrassed that that he lost the shomer and he let a human being take advantage that he killed himself. He choked himself. Says the Gemara, and that's the pshat. V'zehu shehevi shomer lebeis hamidrash. Rabbi Yochanan, beautiful thing here, beautiful idea. Rabbi Yochanan, you have a chazi shalach. When you would see the bird called a shalach, the kamaran, we said something like that. Omar bishpotecha tohaim rabo. That's the bird that the Chinese guy used to fish. He would say, your mishpat, your midas hamishpat tohaim rabo. To go deep down to find the fish, hard parnasa. Kavachazi namala. When you would see an ant, Omar tzidkoscha kahariel. So I think it's very befitting. We're here, bahari kel. We're sitting in the mountains of Hashem, the greatest mountains, the highest mountains in the world, the most beautiful mountains. And it's very easy to see the beauty of the Rebbeinu Shalom. Say, wow, look what the Rebbeinu Shalom created. Every minute you say it to yourself. It's like, can't believe the waterfalls and the rivers and the mountains, the snow on the top of the mountain, the greenery, the whole thing. The kunz is to see the Rebbeinu Shalom in the smallest of the small. We're here in the largest of the large, and Rebbeinu tells us, look at the small, look at the tiny little ant, has a heart, has I don't know what he has, lungs maybe, not lungs, but he has some sort of system to breathe, oxygen and antennas, and they have a whole, he has a brain, hands, feet, carries, eats. It's unbelievable, all in that small thing. So he says, in the smallest of the small, I see Hashem. You hear what's going on? Rabbi Yochanan, it teaches us, when you see beautiful things, you see Hashem's creation, you should make a comment on it. I don't know that you come up with the right pasuk, but you say, wow. Omar tzidkoscha kariel. that the chesed and the tzedakah that Kosh Baruch Hu does with this ant, that he has food wherever he goes. He has food. He's never hungry, this ant. He has food everywhere. So, I always say this by, to me, I don't get it. I don't get how come I personally, I struggle to remember Shir Shel Yom. Wednesday especially. I don't know why. And, you tell me Shir Shel Yom on Friday, I know it has to do something with Kabbalah Shabbos, that's small, but it's like, I struggle to come up with it. And I say it every week. Yet, you could say, a lot of people could say a whole tefillah of Rosh Hashanah. No problem. Something you say once a year. Start you off. The sound of Taikev, I don't know what. It's just unbelievable. So, one of those things that I struggle with, and I think a lot of people do, is Tzidkascha. I know how to do it. Like by the second pasuk, I get confused. And then, I don't know what it is. I say it every week. It's a pellet. Okay. Tzidkascha Kariel. You guys know about Peh? You know all three psukim about Peh? No, but you say it every week. What?
So I don't know the whole davening about that.
Yes, you do.
Sure.
Yeah. It's the same psukim, but backwards, yeah. The middle one there. Okay. Try it. You don't know Asher by heart? Haluka?
Asher I say 3 times a day.
What about Az Yasher? You know by heart? How you do?
Not the whole thing, not everything.
Really? Yeah, you do.
We still got to practice,
Yeah. When you get to my age, you'll know it. Says the Gemara, Omar Meimer. Lakni uvatni sharyan. These two birds called lakni, but you're allowed to eat them. Shaknoyu batni. It depends on the shaknoyu batni. In the place that you eat them, you're allowed to eat them. The place that the minhag is not to eat it, you don't eat it. Ask the Gemara, what do you mean minhag? It goes by minhag? It goes. Why? When there's a peres vaznia, so maybe what you're eating is from that species. So you're not allowed to eat it. It's not there. It's like the Gemara said yesterday that the peres vaznia doesn't come into where people live. It's usually more in the desert. So if you find this bird, you're allowed to eat it. Omar Abaya. Two birds called kuy v'kakai, also to eat. Kukasa, very similar, even the same letters. Kukai, kukasa. Kukai is also, kukasa is mutter. And Eretz Yisrael, they said if you eat a kukasa, you get malchus. Okay? It's not only that it's not mutter, but you get malchus on it, so asur. Torah Rabbanon, Tinshemes, Boish Bafis. There's 2 ways to read the word, but I like the one Boish, means it's like the most. How do you say most in English, but in a nice way? Disgusting is like it's a most word. Disgusting. Maybe there's a better way to say it. It is okay. Disgusting. Fine. We'll go with the simple word. Disgusting. So in Hebrew, in the modern day Hebrew, and he brings it also that this might be Tenshemet. This is what a Tenshemet looks like in Eretz Yisrael today. Which, to me, I was in Spal, his face is kind of flat. It's not very aerodynamic. How doesn't it like have issues flying? But no, Hashem knows how to do it. But it's considered a disgusting looking bird. You say that's the most disgusting of the birds. Maybe we're talking about shratzim. And then I'll be referring to not an owl, but a bat. A bat is considered, even though it's flies, it's considered a sheretz. So the Gemara says, no, if we're talking about birds, we must be talking about a bird, which is a tenshemes, and not a sheretz, which is a bat. Why? Very simple. Amris. One of the 13 rules in the Torah, something that you learn from the own thing. Has to be boisayin. You're talking about birds. So too, shratzim not. So the same thing reverse we learned by shratzim. Tinshemes boishav is shratzim. The Tinshemes, which shares a name with a bird, is the ugliest of the shratzim, which means a bat. We're talking about a bat. Maybe we're talking about the owl, type of an owl. Amr Selamad, Esri Midashat Makos Mizaber, Beshrotzim, Afkam, Beshrotzim. Since we're talking about Shrotzim, so it's the bat, not the owl. But in our sugi, we're talking about the owl, so we're talking about the owl, not the bat. The ugliest of the birds is that owl, that Tinchemes. And what's the ugliest of the Shrotzim? Not a bat, but rather this guy, a mole. And here we have a shtickle video of a mole. It's kind of ugly, Taka. Its two bottom teeth are very interesting. Okay. Omar the Kaas zu hakuk. So in English, a cook, kaas, is called a pelican. That would be usher, beautiful picture, would be usher to eat a pelican. Racham zu shrakrak. So this is my favorite bird of all time, only because it's beautiful colors. Look at that. Look at those colors. I saw it with my own eyes. They have it in Africa. Hard to like they fly. It's hard to like get a good look at them when they spread their wings. Now this is what it looks like when it's just sitting on a branch. So multicolored, but beautiful colors. I don't know why the guy put in a bead, or maybe that's another. But another type of bird that the art scroll says roller, mamish roller. I'm telling you. But another bird that the art scroll brings down is a magpie. So we're going to go with the magpie. I'm going to show you a video of a magpie. So it says like this. Ugmire, sorry. Why is the roller called a racham? When the roller comes, it starts raining. Racham loylam starts raining. Omar Bibi Barabaya. It's when the roller sits on top of something and then it screams, whatever it does, makes it sounds. Ugmiri, and we have a Kabbalah, we have a tradition, the Yosef Arav Sharik. If it sits on the floor and it makes its noise, Asa Mashiach, Mashiach will come. Shenemar, Eshrika Lohem Akaptim. There was once a story when the magpie or the roller sat in a plowed field and it screamed, scraped. V'asa galal, and a big stone came. Broke its brain, broke its head. He was a liar, he was a faker. So here's the video.
Breaking news! The magpie has been spotted. We're expecting rain!
Rabbosai, Mashiach is coming!
So I'm going to say something controversial, that our resident Lubavitcher, who's here ready for a week, he's going to be here for 2 weeks straight, together with me, came for the shir. He wasn't so happy with what I'm saying, so that's why I'm saying it, just to be a little controversial. Okay. No, I'm saying you represent the Lubavitchers, they're probably just starting up with them. But I want to say interesting aside that I heard from Rabbi Yankiv Kamenetsky. It's one of these things, don't be dishonest about Mashiach. Mashiach, we believe Mashiach is coming any day, but don't tell people that you know for a fact it's coming next week, because it could cause a lot of issues. So there was a thing going on in Toronto at a certain period of time where people were like, oh, Mashiach is coming, it's like mamish signs that this and this happens, so Mashiach is going to come within a year. So this guy took it seriously and he closed his shop on Shabbos. He said, Mashiach is coming, closing the shop on Shabbos. So Rabbi Yankiv Kamenetsky spoke to him and said, listen, it's very nice to close it, but I want to be clear with you. There's no more reason to believe that Mashiach is coming today than yesterday. Like nothing changed. We believe that Mashiach is coming, and he's coming today, tomorrow, but nothing special happened right now that you should think that he's coming tomorrow. So they said, what do you care? Well, like, what do you care? And so now he's going to go back and open up a shop on Shabbos. So he said, if he does, he does, but at least he'll get Gan Eden. Because even a Michal Shabbos gets Gan Eden. But somebody that doesn't believe in Mashiach doesn't get Gan Eden. And what you're causing here, you're lying to him, and you're telling him that the Mashiach is coming, and he's going to say, "Hey, you guys lied to me. Next year he'll come, and he's not here." Chas v'shalom. So he's going to blame you. He's going, "Oh, talking about an oirev zoirev. The raven is a raven," which the Gemara is going to explain what that means. Eis kol oirev, but it says eis kol all lahavi oirev ha'imki, the one that's deep. We're going to have to explain. Liminoi. What about the word liminoi, which yesterday we learned means the snoonus, right? Snunit is that bird that we see everywhere. You guys have snunit, the swallows, the guys that they fly erratically. You think they're erratic, but they're catching insects and very hard to follow. Lahavi oirev haba barashi yonim. So the Gemara over here learns a different part, that it's the raven that comes with the head of the pigeon, whatever that means. Gemara is going to explain. Oirev is oirev. A raven is a raven. Yeah, I know that. What do you mean? Did you bring one to shear and say this is the raven? Elaima, what I meant to say is oirev zoirev ukma. It's the black raven, the familiar raven that we know today. That's what they had yesterday, and that's the oirev. You're not allowed to eat that bird. It says mefurish in Tehillim that it has Shir Hashirim. It has he had his hair is curly, black hair like a raven. So you see a raven is black. Now what does the imki mean? Imki chivara. It's the white raven. Here we go. I found the picture of a white raven, very rare, but it's a real picture. So this is also treif, the white one. Okay. What does that mean? Not that it comes, that he's on top of the pigeon. His head. I looked for a picture of it, I couldn't find. His head is similar to that of a pigeon. Going back to the hawk. Here's the hawk. What is the fastest bird alive? I just saw it upstairs. They were playing a game, and I got it wrong. I thought it was the duck. They were laughing, but I think I was right. I still think I'm right. People say, like, a duck is not fast. Yeah, it's the fat one. I once read it's the fastest bird, but they were talking about the falcon. The falcon, but I told them that it doesn't count. The falcon, when it dives at 120 miles an hour, whatever it dives. That's something else. I'm talking about in a straight flight, what's the fastest bird? It's going to say it's not really, it's one of the fastest ducks, right? Falcon. It says falcon?
20 or 40 miles an hour.
No.
That's in diving flight.
Diving flight.
Straight flight, white-throated needletail.
Level flight.
Gray-headed albatross or the common swift?
Well, how about duck? Where does the duck fit in there? It's not even close? Oh, here, Mark. Horizontal flight without diving is the white-throated needletail. I told him that's not the falcon. The falcon could... What is that? I don't know what that is.
105 miles an hour.
Wow. White-throated needletail. 105 miles an hour. Wow. Huh?
40 to 60 miles.
What? Is it one of the No, it's that's actually half the speed. Yeah. I don't know why. So why did I have in my mind? You see, gears to the Yankerson. Not true. Fine. אנחנו דנים כאן מה העוף הכי מהיר בעולם. לא שמעת על זה. אוקיי. הנייץ זה הנייץ. למיניהו להביא is בר חיריה. Okay, my bar חיריה. Omar Abaya Shurinka. So the hawk, it's interesting. I don't know, if you see the picture, you're going to say, what's the connections? I don't know if there is a connection. The nates is a hawk. It's a pretty large bird. And it says, limineu, meaning in its species. What else is in its species? Shurinka. So the art school brings like this. The Shurinka is like a lashon of screaming, no, not screaming, of strangling. Brings that it's a strangler. In Yiddish, a strangler, something. What's a strangler? So it brings this bird. Listen to this. There's a bird, you hear? And this is the picture that we had last time. There's a bird that kills its prey. It takes a prey, but it puts a rod right through it. What's it called? How do you say it in English? There's a word? Impales it. Oh. How? It finds like a thorn And so we have a picture, and I remember I used this picture last cycle. Here, geschmack. It impales. It takes a mouse and it puts him on a thorn, and that's a sharinka, and that's from the family of a hawk. I don't see any resemblance whatsoever. And here, he also took this. This is from a completely different. This is one of the artists put it together, a sharinka, and I put this one in. It's the same exact bird. So we both came to the same conclusion. Okay, based on this on the strangler. Omer Rav Yehuda, HaChasida, the famous Chasida, Zudai Levana. It's called a Dai Levana. Lama Nigro Shmo Chasida. Here I have a picture of a stork, of a, what is it called? Yeah, a stork, a white stork. I guess that's the picture I took in the Alps. Not this one, but I took a picture of a stork, as I showed a few days ago. Lama Nigro Shmo Chasida. Why is it called a Chasida? Shoysa Chasidus im Chaveriseo. Because she does chesed with her friends. So the famous question and answer is, if she does such chesed with her friends, so how come she's not kosher? No, what's the answer? You don't know the answer? Bavust. Of course she does chesed with her friends, but only her friends. When you do chesed only with your friends, it's even worse than not doing chesed at all. We have a shtickle video. It's always controversial, our videos. Oh, here's the white-throated needletail. Thank you, Mark. It actually looks like a... You know what it looks like? No. There's a van airplane. Look it up. There's a van R9 or something. R7. It's weird. Oh, it reminds me of a plane. Yeah, a weird shape of a plane. Anyway, fine. Nah. Check this out. Achim Laneshek. I get it now. I know. Mon Yom Likulam. You guys know what Achim Laneshek is? It's the guys that are anti-Haredim, that they have to go to the army.
אתה עשית צבא? אין כניסה.
זה בסדר? Did you do army? No. Okay, you can't come in. Chasida means you do chassid even with people that are not in your same chasidus, shul. Oh, duck is the fastest game bird. I don't know what that means. He's still working on it. Mark, we're holding by Achim Laneshek now. It's a different sugya. אתה עשית צבא? אין כניסה. I hope that's not the thumbnail. Says the Gemara, Anafa. That's a heron. Zudayo Ragzonis. Oh yeah, we have. I don't need a picture. We have this. We have this video. I'll show you in a second. It's the angry one. Why is it called Anafa? She gets mad at her friends. Here's video evidence. Angry man's in workshop. It's garnished. Why do you like it? I don't know. Fine. Omer Rav Chonon bar Rav Chizda. Who's Rav Chonon bar Rav Chizda? Omer Rav Chizda. Omer Rav Chonon berei de Rava. Omer Rav. So Rav Chizda said in the name of his father-in-law, Rav Chonon berei de Rava. Omer Rav, in the name of Rav. His father-in-law said in the name of Rav. There's 24 non-kosher birds. This is the number that Rav said. We're going to see that Rebbe Vo says it's 23. I'm still very, to me it's a, I probably knew this last time I learned Chullin, but it's brand new for me, as usual, that there's 11,000 types of birds and only 24 in the world are also. You think it's a lot more, like, oh, you can't eat anything, yeah, only chicken. No, we're allowed to eat 11,000, theoretically. Where did you get the number 24? The birds mentioned Vayikra Esramavu, that's only 20. The ones mentioned in Dvarim, Ezra Chadav, it's 21. Where do you get up to 24? So you have one extra one that's written in Vayikra, not in Dvarim. You put it in Dvarim. It says 20, 21 plus 1 is 22. How'd you get to 24? This is what the father of your mother said. In other words, my father-in-law. Right? So that was the big mistake I made maybe a couple of weeks ago, right before I came to Austria. I said in Shir, trying to be funny, I said, my son's mother, something like that, or my wife's son. And then people started writing in, what? We didn't know that Rebelli's divorced, what, he's second marriage, what's going on? No! I was just trying to be funny. Like, my wife's son. Yeah, okay. So did I say my wife's son or my son's mother? My son's mother? That's more like, okay, so my wife's son, he said.
Elon and Mark.
Oh, I said my wife's son might have a scooter. My wife's son might have a scooter. Okay. That's what Mark said. Okay. Anyway, so I believe this just reminded me. The father of your mother, in other words, my father-in-law or your grandfather, said the name of Rav. It says in the Torah the word limino, that's 1. It says again, limino, that's 2. Liminoi is 3. Liminei was 4. Harik and arba. So 4 plus 21 is a problem. We came up to 22. So 4 plus 22 is Esrim V'Shisav was 26. I can get rid of 1 and I'll go down to 25. How? Da, Vera, Achas. The word, they're very similar. The Dalet and the Reish are interchangeable sometimes. So Da, Vera are actually 1. So if in fact you think you want to fight and say that it's 1, Dvarim comes to add Why does it say in Vayikra it says da and in Dvarim it says ra? How can it say the same thing? Like da. It's one and the same. So Mela we're down to 25. Ask the Gemara of Shabbos is 25, not 24. I'll do the same trick again. The two birds, one ayo, one is a dayo. Okay, we don't really find that an aleph and a dalet are interchangeable, but they sound the same. Fine, it's one. These are because in fact it's 2. The Varim always comes to add on to the rest of the Torah. It's a repetition of the Torah, and we add a little bit. But why does the Torah change the way it is? When it comes to ayah, it says the word lemino right away. It says ayah, daya, lemino. But the word mina comes on the daya and on daya. You should know that ayah v'daya achasi. When the Torah says ayah daya lemino, it's one bird. Great. Now, if it's one bird, if it said ayah in Vayikra and daya in Dvarim, great. But it says ayah v'daya in Dvarim. Why the 2 words? She says because then there shouldn't be people say, oh no, the daya is mutter, the ayah is aser, or vice versa. So I'll put them together. Ayah, daya, they're both aser. But it's one bird. Chullin. Rabbi Oimekrani ayo. Dayo Loman Emro. Kadishali didn't pischapel about didn't lach like, so you don't have a guy shakets to say, oh, but this one is motish. Like the Korea dayo. I changed the one letter and I'll lead it now. Great. Oh, I have to say this. Turning to the Daf, by Adar Global, the official non-corporate sponsor of the MDY League, Encore Healthcare is chus for all of Klal Yisrael. But I do have to show this again. Why? Stam. We're going to put it up here because this is a roller. Gewaldig. And that these people should think this is the whole share. Okay? Because I don't want to do a whole lemon without a single picture of a bird. You know, it's not. Wow. Beautiful. It's a bagmorayim. It has two like tassels on the side. Like you see, the wing doesn't just end. It has like 2. Stop for the beauty. Like Hashem, like once we make it beautiful, might as well. Yeah. And this one. Oh, pshee, nifla, pilabria. So says the Gemara, just keep it up there, why not? Meisvei, that's what I'm holding?
Yeah.
You sure?
Yeah.
But which Meisvei?
Domination.
Lomo nishnu babehema. Why did the Torah repeat itself? You have all the behemoths in Vayikra. Why again in Dvarim? And why the same thing with the birds? B'pnei hashesua, babehema b'pnei hashesua. Because of this guy. Remember the shesua from yesterday? Here we go. Shesua. It's an animal that has two backs, two spines. Okay. Uba'ifois, why did the Torah repeat itself by birds? B'pnei hara. To add the ra. My love, the shesua is an addition. Not only all these animals, but shesua also is also. So I would think also oifis namelo yisufe, it's the same idea. We're repeating the whole parasha by the animals. We're repeating the whole parasha by birds. And the whole parasha came to add one animal. So the whole parasha by birds to add one animal. No. When it comes to bird, we're coming to explain. So Mamela, the ra is a explanation of the da. Okay, so now Rabbi say we came out that instead of 26, we actually have 24 birds. And that's where Rav got it. This out of 10,000 birds of the world, 11,000, 24 birds you're not allowed to eat. That's it. We don't eat any of them because we don't have a Messiah on any of those birds. But Be'ez Hashem, when Mashiach comes, we'll be able to eat all these, the flamingos and all that, all those birds we'll be able to eat. Says the Gemara. Upligi the Rebavo. And Rebavo hold it's 23, not 24. The Omar Rebavo, we're holding already an hour into it. The Rebavo Ra Zu Aya. The Ra and the Aya are one of the same. V'lamer Krishma Ra. Sheroya B'yoyser. She has unbelievable eyesight. V'chein Oimer Nosiv Lo Yidoy Oyet. Oyet is like an eagle today. How far can an eagle see? So I looked it up today. They say that it could see 3 kilometers. You could see a little mouse 3 kilometers away, clearly. Now, what does Gemara say? Tana, Oimedes Bevavel, Veroya Nevela Beretz Yisrael. So he says on the side here, the Messiah says, Guzma Katani. That's an exaggeration. But it's to open up your mind to understand that we don't understand. And some birds see ultraviolet. This bird could see 3 miles away, 3 kilometers away. Wow. Okay, that's a large animal. You can even see a little tiny mouse. If ra is ayo, so you can't say that a da is a ra. Another one, take off. Because if you take off one more, then you only have 23. Dvarim always comes to add to the rest of the Torah. Ella, Lav Shmamino, Dovra, Va'ayo, Achasi, all three are the one of the same. So then we're down to 23. Because then we're really down. How come in Dvarim it doesn't say Limineu? Elo Adayo. Sorry. Limineu Ayo Elo Adayo. Only on the Dayo it says Limineu. El Shmamino, Do, Vero, Dayo, Vayo. All these 4. Achasi. So what comes out at the end of the day? 23 treif birds, not 24. So according to Rav, it's 23. According to Rav, it's 24. Should we just do this little piece? Let's do this little piece. There's 100 birds that are tamei in the east. They're all part of the ayo species. There are 700 types of tamei fish. Today, scientists say that there are 37,000 types of fish. So when the Gemara says that 700 are tamei, that means that all 36,000 plus are kosher fish. They have snapper v'kaskesses, you're allowed to eat them. It's crazy. I don't know if you have to have Messiahs. It doesn't say anywhere you have to have Messiahs on fish. Birds, you have to have Messiahs. Maybe, yeah. I don't know. We have to finish the Masechta to find out. Today, science says, I don't know what if it's a machlokes or not. 800 is a tremendous number. But maybe there's inbred, but they said there's 11,000 types of grasshoppers. Some sugar. Only 2 or 3 we have a Messiah on. In other words, sorry, it's not a contradiction. When it says Shmoyne Minei Esmir Chagavim, it's the Tamei. These are the ones that are Tamei. The rest are kosher. There's unlimited amount of birds that are kosher. As the Gemara, there's only 24 that are also not a mispar. Ella, there's 24 birds that are tamei, and the rest of the birds, the 11,000 species times, and every species has the subcategories with chulu, so it's unlimited amount. They're all tar. Rabbi Sai, have a wonderful day.
Merit the schus of spreading Torah throughout the world. Sponsor a shir today. MDYsponsor.com or sponsor at MDYDaf.com.